This is Paddy Tan, co-founders of Blackstone Consulting. So today here we have two gentlemen from the company Privacy Ninja from Singapore. And in the next 15 to 30 minutes, we'll be talking to them, asking them some interesting questions. And they will share about what do they do, and of course, what the implications of cybersecurity, especially with the introductions of 5G coming to this part of the world. So thank you for joining us today. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just ask you guys a few questions, and then we take it from there. Okay, so perhaps we can start off with a sort of a short introduction of who are you, and then the next will be what is Privacy Ninja.
Sure.
Excellent.
So I'm Dexter. I'm the CTO of Privacy Ninja Private Limited. Yeah. So what Privacy Ninja does is we specialize in outsourced DPO as a service.
So what is DPO?
Data Protection Officer.
Okay.
So it is now actually mandatory in Singapore to have appoint a DPO for every company.
Okay. So Andy, how about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Andy Prakash, co-founder of Privacy Ninja, and we specialize in, like what Dexter mentioned, actually data protection, so data privacy, and more so in Singapore context, PDPA, which means we help companies in Singapore get compliant to the Personal Data Protection Act.
So PDPA stands for Personal Data Protection Act.
Yeah.
So Dexter is the CTO.
Yeah.
And you are?
I'm the founder of Privacy Ninja.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Is this DPO thing very new, or is this PDPA thing very new that you guys started this business?
Okay, so to explain a little bit, PDPA, the Personal Data Protection Act, is not something new. It's been around since 2012, but just a lot of businesses aren't really aware of what they need to do to comply. They may be here before, but they are just, to be honest, not bothered to go and find out what this act is. Until about close to 2 years ago, whereby there's a lot of incidents of cyber breach. A lot of companies get hacked, also unauthorized disclosure of data, and the PDPC, which is the Singapore's Data Protection Regulator, swoop in, start to issue financial penalties. That's when businesses start to realize, oh, that this PDPA, I must do something to comply, and we better make sure that we are compliant. If not, we will suffer reputational loss and also financial penalties.
Okay, so Dexter, as a CTO itself, does this DPO so-called positions require any technical know-how for the business owners of all these startups or companies and all this?
Yeah, it's actually better to have. The government did not specify that it's mandatory to get certified or anything, but it's actually, we encourage people to go for training and at least get the basic 9 obligations of PDPA instilled to the person who is being assigned as a DPO. If not, that person do not even know where to even start to protect the company.
So for Privacy Ninja, you mentioned it's an outsource.
Yeah.
So that means, let's say I started a company and my company is doing trading.
Yeah.
It's probably a 1 or 2%. So I have no knowledge about what is going on. So I can just call you up.
Yeah.
So what will you do for me?
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of business owners that really has no time to send their employee or they themselves to go for this training and actually go and study how to do it. So they just outsource it to us, and we go in, we audit their office, check how are they storing their data, what kind of security measures, policies they have in for their employees.
Okay.
So we will implement all these and make sure their company is PDPA compliant.
I see. So I guess that when they outsource this whole entire thing, so can I take it as a responsibility will be yours, or do they still have to work with you closely? How does it work?
I'll take on that answer.
Yeah.
So as the outsourced DPO for any company, so under the PDPA again, even a one-man, two-man show, so proprietorship, up the way to a 500 employee size company, right, you need to appoint a DPO. So respectively, the job scope of the DPO will depend on how large the organization is, how many employees he has to make sure are trained, are aware of the obligations, and all the processes and policies in place that you have to make sure these are what the company wants, this is best practices, and everyone is to follow through.
Okay.
So even for the context of a trading company, let's say you open a trading company, when you do engage us as an outsourced DPO, we will take on the DPO's operational obligations. You'll come in, we'll understand your business, then we'll know what kind of personal data you're collecting. For example, you have internal, external stakeholders. Maybe you're investing money on behalf of people. How do you collect this data? What are the channels? Where you store them? And then what are the security measures you put in place to protect such data?
Okay.
Who do you disclose to? are those people exposed to really have the right to access this data, right? And then your retention policies, how long you keep such data. So all these will form up your whole data protection management program, which is again mandatory under the PDPA. So these are practices, policies, and processes, right? All these documents will have a review session with the management, make sure that the whole company understands what this whole handbook is for, that employees follow through on them, and then they know on a day-to-day basis what are the processes they have to follow through. Okay? So to prevent or minimize a possible data breach. And then management will sign off, and from then on the company will follow these SOPs.
Okay, so question. I don't believe in this outsourcing of DPO. I'm a small little trading company. I do on my own. Because to me, is that there's no customers' data, assuming. So somehow, somewhere, my customers' database, which is not a lot, but the volume of the sales information got leaked up into the internet. So can I just come to you? I mean, I didn't outsource to you, but can I come to you?
Yeah, they definitely can come to us. So we actually have quite a few of these kind of cases. They actually already suffered a data breach. They don't know what to do, so they came to us, and we do some sort of forensic. We even do forensic to find out what is the cause of the leak.
I see. Yeah. How big is the team in this case? I mean, for to support such kind of help.
As in how big is
your team? Yeah.
Currently we're still less than 20 people, but we are expanding as well as we take on more clients.
So you're based in Singapore.
Yes.
Headquarters in Singapore.
Yeah.
How old is this company?
Slightly more than 2 years.
Okay. So who started it? I mean, Andy?
I started this.
Okay. So then you got a CTO in.
So prior to founding Privacy Ninja, we actually also have in place and we co-founded Anti-Hack. So it's a cybersecurity company whereby we brought in the concept of bug bounty culture to Singapore.
Okay.
So maybe I can explain a little bit more.
I think I saw you guys in one of the event, Echelon E27, where you guys were doing some bounty hunt or something.
Live hacking demonstration.
Okay, I see.
So we do have these collaborations whereby for big events, data protection related events or cybersecurity, right? We can come in and we do a live hacking demonstration to the random audience members out there. So we can take their name cards, we can do email spoofing, or we use person's A phone to call person B, or use his email to send an email to person C, all live on the spot.
So are you hired? Are you hireable for do this kind of thing?
White hat hacking, legally hacking with your permission, you are the data owner, yes.
What was the difference between white? I don't know. What are you saying?
White hat hacking.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's white hat, there's grey hat, and black hat. But most common would be white hat versus black hat. So black hat is actually the bad guys who are trying to steal your data and trying to take the data and then sell it on the darknet. Those are black hats. White hats are people who go and hack your system and then tell you what's wrong and ask you to go and fix your system. And sometimes they get rewarded based on, let's say, example, bug bounty program. They participate in your bug bounty program. Each bug, they are getting paid for reporting it.
So it's like some of the, if I'm not wrong, I think right from the news, some of these movie websites, they are launching certain games or launching certain services, and they put themselves up available for you to try to attack it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you guys, do you guys get hired by corporates to do such kind of stuff?
Yeah, we are. I mean, for us, we are always getting hired for penetration tests. That's what it's called. Then sometimes we also do bug bounty programs for companies. Some of them do not know how to set up a program, how to do costings for each bug. We will set up the whole program for them as well.
That's interesting.
If I can share a little bit more, because we've always been very excited about bug bounty, and this is really going to be up and coming and going to be the next big thing in cybersecurity. So let me explain the difference. So like what Dexter mentioned, primarily VAPT or vulnerability assessment, penetration testing is a hacking exercise that you perform once, right, on a particular system, a website, or an application, even your network. So it can cost you anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000. Depends on the Sing dollars. Depends on the scope, right, of the targets you have. Which is expensive. It's a one-off exercise. You can plan to do it once a year, twice a year, or after every major update or upgrade to any systems you have. So bug bounty is different, whereby it's a 24/7 hacking exercise, not a one-time 24/7. We'll create a bug bounty program for you. We'll put there, let's say, priority 1 critical bugs going to cost you 5,000, right? Not so critical bugs, next level 1,000, then 500, 300, $150, for example. So we cascade the amount. So basically, if we are able to hack your systems anytime, any day, and we find a particular bug corresponding to which level, how severe it is. Then we'll deduct this amount from the budget you place with us.
Oh,
So I have a
okay.
peace of mind. Oh, 24/7, I'm getting guys to legally test and hack my systems.
Okay.
So I'm kind of protected all year round.
I see. So, question: Are you the only guys here in Singapore doing this?
There's another US company called HackerOne that is in Singapore, but
HackerOne.
for Singapore-based company, we are the only one.
Okay. So, where do you guys see this whole entire privacy ninja going beyond what you are doing now?
So where's the direction of our company headed to?
I mean, especially with 5G is coming soon. So I guess it's not just a matter of faster speed, but a lot of integrations of devices, IoT and stuff like that. I guess the hacking, the chances of being hacked is probably higher.
Sure,
So where do you guys see what Privacy Ninja can play as a role?
I'll start on that first. So in terms of educating the general public, right, employees, because everyone's using IoT devices, 5G up and coming. So even your smartwatches, your handphones, or your endpoints, right, they're connected to internet. Cyber awareness is always one thing that will help strengthen the weakest link, which is the human itself. Other than having good cyber hygiene in place, and then we also can do hardware and both software pen testing, right? We can hack on the devices and let you know if there's any vulnerabilities. And also in terms of basically PDPA in Singapore, that's here to stay. The law will never be lesser or become less stringent in future, right? It will be more and more relevant, but more and more severe in a sense. Even now, the proposed changes include higher penalty fines up to 10% of your annual gross turnover of a company, compared to a maximum pay of $1 million previously.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of things are in place. We're very excited. There are coming plans which certain bets we can't share yet. Hopefully next year you guys will see us on the news as well for a new disruptive product that we're coming up with that will help all companies in Singapore comply to the PDPA very more easily.
Okay. So Dexter, as a CTO itself, what are the things that any of the business owners or employees themselves should actually take note of, particularly in terms of the cybersecurity or this?
Yeah, so for employees, I think the most important is to really start using a password manager. That will be the first priority, because a lot of them are now still using basic passwords. For example, 123456 or even admin 1234. Or even some of them never even change the default password that was issued by the admin, or even let's say they bought a webcam or a security cam, they did not even change the password to it. They are still using the same default password that came with it.
So I understand that years back, there's this very popular term called BYOD, bring your own device. So now I think it's probably no more, where everybody is actually using probably one or two phones for work, for leisure, for everything, anything. So let's say based on your recommendations, what is the kind of phones that most of the people should actually adopt, should actually use? Android, iPhone,
for out of the box security, of course, iPhone is the most user-friendly to use, and also the most secure.
So you're using iPhone, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely using iPhone.
And you are using iPhone?
iPhone as well. Never touch Android. Probably never will. Not endorsing, but I'm just an iPhone user lah.
Okay, I see. So let's say I'm an Android user. So what are the kind of software that I should protect myself against?
The first one would be definitely use a password manager on your phone, and don't save passwords on your phone.
Notes,
So, and also
I also say when you download apps, right, regardless from Google Play or from the App Store, make sure you download trusted apps. There have been so many apps, third-party apps, especially on Android, right, that contain malware and are actually extracting your data and sending it out to certain parties for analyzing your activities. So if you see, this app is free, it seems like a lot of good features. You see, the developer of this app never heard before, some weird name. Just download lah. Right? That's when you're getting yourself potentially into trouble.
I see. So how did the two of you, get to know each other even before anti-hack or something like that? You guys were still running anti or anti-hack, right? Okay. So how you guys met in the first place to come up with this idea?
we met each other through a mutual friend. Then after that, we discussed hey, what are you doing now? Are you interested to start this together? Then that's how it started.
So your role is all along in the tech space?
Yes, I've always been in the tech space. I'm one of the first iPhone developer and Android phone developer as well in Singapore.
Okay.
So during those days, development was good money, Then after that, a lot of Indian companies and Vietnam companies start to market in Singapore, and then
Correct.
that's where the market went downhill.
So competitive.
When was that? Year 2000?
2010, 2011 onwards, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So one question is that with this 5G, I'm routing back over to the 5G and IoT and all this kind of stuff. I believe there will be more hackings and whichever, because as you mentioned, Andy, people are probably a bit more loose.
Yeah.
The password comes in and then stuff like that. I think this business will probably continue to flourish for your business itself.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something that you guys are probably rolling out new services and stuff like that. So one question, are you guys self-funded or you already been funded?
We are currently self-funded.
Yeah, bootstrapped all the way.
Okay. So bootstrap with a handful of employees.
Yeah, but we are profitable, so yeah.
Since day one?
Since day one.
Okay. So where do you guys see that it's going to be, in terms of cybersecurity, beyond Singapore as itself? Because you mentioned that you probably only have another competitors, HackerOne. So where do you see the space for you to grow?
I mean, for bug multi, our only competitor in Singapore is HackerOne. But for PPA and DPO services, there are quite a few other players in the market.
Okay.
But for us, we are the only one with cybersecurity background. Whereas the rest of them need to find a third-party cybersecurity company to actually help them.
Okay.
That's our unique selling point, actually.
I see.
So let's say if any of our clients get a ransomware incident or even a data breach, we do not need to hire a third-party company to come and check their company.
Mitigate.
Whereas all our competitors need to do that.
Okay, I see. So question. You talk about all this hacking and everything. So what is the most interesting case that you guys have handled?
For me, most interesting would be there's a lot of ransomware incidents nowadays. This is like the most common, and a lot of them cannot be decrypted because they are actually new, and a lot of them are targeting like even the NAS. NAS is the network attached storage device, which is a shared hard disk in an office. Yeah. So a lot of them do not even put passwords to it. So ransomware
for easy access.
Yeah, for easy access for employees to access it from home. And some of them do not even know that it's connected to the internet. Even though they thought they're using it in the office only, but they don't know that the moment they plug in to the internet, it's already connected. And they did not password protect it or using the default password.
So when you talk about ransomware, what is the typical threat? Just money itself?
Yeah, I mean what they did is they did take a copy of every single files, and then after that they encrypted it and then asking you to send bitcoins.
Okay.
And now it's getting more and more savvy. The Bitcoin wallet is unique to the victim.
Okay.
So they assign a Bitcoin wallet address to the victim, and you have to transfer to this wallet address. Once you transfer there, then they will automatically give you the decryption software. So
it seems that Bitcoin is the so-called the medium for them to receive their money.
Ransomware most of the time is Bitcoin.
Okay.
Harder to trace back. And also when you ask what's the problems or consequences you face when you suffer a ransomware attack. So other than they having a copy of your files, they can blackmail you, blackmail to release all your corporate data and sensitive data of your clients, suppliers and whatnot online. Plus also you lose access to your files. So essentially, if you do not have a redundancy system in place, right, you don't have a backup, you can't go work. You may have certain files here and there across your different endpoints, but your main drive, your corporate drive, holding all the data is locked. It becomes a new format where you cannot go open it.
And some of them put their backup and the backup and the backup together in the same place.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
And some of them use the email and password across every single account. So let's say LinkedIn, Facebook, and any other e-commerce website, or even their mobile phone game. They also use the same company email and password.
I see.
Yeah, so a lot of these are actually being leaked online. Let's say if the game company get hacked, your company details are being leaked online.
Okay, and then that probably ties back to your personal accounts and stuff like that.
So a little bit of sneak peek of what we are coming out with is we're actually going to help companies to actually notify them straight away when they engage us as their DPO. We will have an automated software that tell them straight away, hey, your this company domain, what are the username and passwords being leaked online.
Okay. Wow. So one question here is that with this cybersecurity, going more and more complicated, When customers or when the clientele engage your service, is it a guarantee? Because like for example, they got themselves ransomware. They come and look for you. The kind of expectation is that hey, you are the only one, or maybe you are the guy that probably can help me. Can you guarantee that you can really undo everything?
There's no cybersecurity company that will ever say you're 100% hack proof or even 100% able to recover anything.
Correct.
There's always forensics needed whenever there's a data breach that happens. Or there's no way to 100% certify a company to be unhackable because they are always, let's say you are a company with software, your own software. Every time you are developing and upgrading the software, and every time you upgrade, you actually need to do a test and then do the fixes.
I see.
But a lot of companies are not doing penetration tests
regularly.
I think partly it's because of the cost implications, and because my understanding is that there are also a lot of startups. So new startups, new startups always have this ongoing. Hire a whole bunch of people, then over time some of them will leave, and then new guys will come in, and then in order to make it accessible to everybody, they somehow just open up for everybody to access, and somehow nobody patch it up later or something like that. So where are your main types of clientele from? Startups, SME, government agencies?
Currently, most of our customers are SMEs. That's our target market. So we actually want to make it affordable for all SMEs.
Okay.
Whereas all our competitors are playing for the bigger SMEs. Whereas ours, we want to make it affordable for everyone.
Okay. So here's the thing. You're now based here in Singapore. So your service, is it contained only within Singapore, or is it going to be regional?
We were actually expanding to certain countries in Southeast Asia. Due to the COVID situation, we had to put that plans on hold. But we are very excited because we are going to go back to those markets, hopefully by second quarter next year. Because PDP is also coming up in those countries, right? But in those countries, because of COVID as well, they push back the implementation of the law.
Because my understanding is that a lot of them, especially in surrounding countries of Singapore, a lot of them use Singapore as sort of like a benchmark. For various things. I think cybersecurity is definitely one of those. So I will assume that by having using Singapore sort of like as a base with your case studies and everything, and then the next thing that you do is when you go overseas, you probably have a better reference case and everything. So coming back, you guys are not funded; it's actually self-funded. So will you be looking to? I mean, as you explained, you probably will need some funds, or what's the plan?
Actually, we plan to only start to get funding after our special software that is launching.
Okay, so when will that be?
We are looking to launch early next year, and we want to get traction on it before even looking at funding.
I see. Okay, so let's say if it's a funding situation, what kind of amount will you be looking at to raise?
That's a good one that I don't think we should even be saying here. Where viewers can already, hey, this company looking for this amount. I think there are some potential that we can invest. Better go start finding investor for them. We can take that offline, no problem.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think the opportunity is probably a lot. Especially Singapore there's always a certain benchmark. So I guess that you guys actually put the right footing with the whole entire thing. So let's say for example, now we are targeting mainly more on the SME side. So I presume that down the road, when you go overseas, we'll be looking at the same strategy that you're going to implement?
Yes, we come to realize that more so for other service players in the market doing similar stuff to what we do, they are targeting the slightly more bigger companies or bigger boys, right? Because they will say that, these bigger companies have the funding to take out our services. So be it consultancy or be it audits or be it compliance, right? They will be charging a small bomb, whereby we make our business and let's say our DPO as a service so scalable and affordable that even a SME, a smaller size one, a medium size one, or even bigger companies can afford it easily. And we don't judge them by, because you have more capability to pay more, we're going to charge you more.
I see. Okay.
But we also do take on bigger clients. We have shipping clients, the whole group of companies, 13, 14 entities under us.
I see.
Those under medical healthcare. And we also even have private universities that we are the outsourced DPO for.
I see. Okay. Seems like you guys are on a very good, strong path.
Thanks to, actually COVID was a blessing in disguise for us actually.
Okay.
Because during that time whereby business was slightly down, right?
Yeah.
A lot of businesses themselves were on the download, they do not have the spending power during that time. So we took that opportunity ourselves to go and buck up and learn about digital marketing and how we can expand our business and what we do, make ourselves known out there to more businesses.
So during this period of time, what have you guys done? Because as you rightfully pointed out, a lot of SME are probably injured, okay, because of this COVID. Sales are not going. So how do you reach out to them then compared to what you're going to do now? I mean, well, with this phase 2, phase 3 coming up, so how do you differentiate yourself during these 2 periods?
Okay, so what we did during the COVID period was to get ourselves out there, make people all know about this company called Privacy Ninja first. And we provided a lot of what we feel are useful content, important content. So we created a content hub of important resource articles that companies and employees could read up about. So during the COVID, and it doesn't cost them anything, but it's good for them to know about this. So even during the COVID, there were data breaches, right, every month. So then when phase 2 we started, and hopefully phase 3 soon, these companies already know what we do. Okay, so then we send a follow-up, contact
them. So there's a conversion.
Yeah.
Okay. So now with phase 3 coming up, phase 3 simply means that there'll be more freedom. People are able to interact a bit more. So what's your plan now? I mean, to reach out to more of the SME.
Personally, for me, I still don't see a need yet to have physical meetings in that aspect, because in phase 2 itself, and even during the COVID to an extent, virtual meetings online, right, Google Meet, Zoom, was very effective for us. We could close deals through just meeting online. But also we are thankful that what we do, being PDPA compliance, right, audit and cybersecurity are all, other than PDPA being mandatory, the rest are also equally important for businesses to be able to sustain their business. Because upon one data breach, financial penalty or reputational loss, from barely surviving, they can literally crumble the business.
Okay. So it seems like you guys are on a good path on all this.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you very much for spending and sharing with us all your insights, and especially very deep knowledge of cybersecurity. Okay. So if anybody here is interested to reach out to both gentlemen here from Privacy Ninja, just take a look at the links below and do contact them. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to have more of this, feel free to check out at xprenia.com.